All right, what's good, homies? What's good? What's good? Appreciate everybody being in the joint. See me hitting that damn green screen, man. I got to find the proper lighting for my green screen, man. I'm still trying to light it with lights that I use for regular content, and there's different lights that I need to order, man. So I'm gonna do a little searching after we done with this, and I'll check that out. If y'all can hear me loud and clear, y'all put a one in the chat, man. Salute, y'all give me a minute. I can put some lighting on myself. Give me a quick minute, man. Let me put a little lighting on myself right quick. I ain't got to be in the dark. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to pull this thing together the proper way. I appreciate y'all being here, man. I know it's been a minute since we've been knocking on the King Ray Ray joint, but I do appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. I really do. Appreciate all the support, man. All right, if y'all can hear me loud, let's give the people just a few minutes to get in the joint, man. Let's give the people just a few minutes to get in the joint. Got the H2O, vapor still water, man. Got a little unsweetened additive to add to it. Make my body think I'm drinking lemon iced tea. When really I'm just drinking water. Side Mugger, appreciate the dime. Perfect timing while I'm on break. Going country wild with this crazy trucking biz. All praise due to Most High for keeping us safe. Hey, man, that trucking biz, man, we need it, though. Salute to you, man. Salute to all the truckers, man, that be banging BOA and King Ray Ray, man, late at night when they're on the road on them runs. Middle of the day, we on the road on them runs, man. I appreciate that, man. The trucking industry showed me a whole lot of support, man. Whole lot of support. I be bumping into those guys, say I'm traveling. And when I'm traveling, I always stop at a truck stop because whatever you need, you can get it at a truck stop. So I stop, man. I may need some batteries, or I may have left my charger for one of my phones, man. And man, I'm always in the truck stop. Man, I see those guys, man, and whenever I'm in my company car, without BOA, then people they see me, man, be like, Doc, man, what up, man? I bang you all the time, man. And I appreciate y'all, brothers, man, because there's a bunch of things I need to be getting to me right now that y'all gonna be the one responsible for getting to me. So I appreciate y'all, man. Salute to all the truckers in the game. Harlem World Breaker, my brother SJ. Salute to the realists. Salute the realists of the real. Salute to you, my brother, representing as always. Fear to none. Appreciate the 5 bones. NSA Al Habsi, man. Appreciate the 100 bones sponsorship, brother. Appreciate it. Whenever you visit Rwanda, let me know, brother, man. For sure. For sure. Rwanda is on my short list of African countries, man. Rwanda, Tanzania. Like I'm skipping all the ones, all the more popular ones, man. Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria. I mean, I'm putting those last. I mean, I'm not skipping them, but I'm putting those at the end, man. There's a couple of places I want to visit, man. Uganda. So salute to you, man. So let's get ready to get into this thing, man. God made you to win. God made you to win. I want y'all to understand what that means. God didn't make you to be a winner. God made you to win. So be ye of good courage and stop running from the race of life. Stop running from the race, man. Wherever you get to in this life, you got to run the race to get there. You got to run the race to get there. I can't run it for you. SJ can't run it for you. NSA can't run it for you. Sai can't run it for you. Markel can't run it for you. Chief can't run it for you. You got to run the race yourself. But we live in a society that drains our energy for success and tells us that there's a certain way to do everything. This society says don't worry about the mystical man in the sky. You got to do it this way. King Abraham, salute. Famo, salute. So let's get the people, man. We'll go in at 10, man. We'll give people 10 minutes to get in. Shinobi Style, appreciate the dime, homie. Appreciate it. God made you to win. He made you to win. He gave you the prerequisite skills that are necessary to win. But he also gave you the gift to use. And sometimes gifts, pure plural, to win. Winning is not God's job for you. That's your job in your own life. And today we're going to discuss some of the ways that we as men can make sure that we stay on the winning side, on the winning path in our lives, and stop allowing society's expectations and norms to dictate that we don't follow the path that God put us here to follow. That's our goal. Markel, I see you, man. Now, let's cover the elephant in the room. We talk about this all the time, but I can't reiterate it enough. People say, trust the process. I say, don't worry about trusting the process. You have to enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey of life. Enjoy every step of it. The ups, downs, the highs, the lows, the twos and fros. Enjoy the journey of life. I was listening to a Drake interview, and he said during his rise, his meteoric rise, he didn't really pop off until Wayne went to jail. When Wayne was on Rikers Island, that's when Drake really popped off. But he said it was by design. He said he felt like he had to do it. But he said the thing that made him realize he was on is when he showed up in Houston, the first time he had ever flown out of Canada, besides for Degrassi. He said he flew out of Canada to Houston and met Wayne there. I said Wayne was at, I can't remember what hotel he was at, but said Wayne had like 40 rooms booked in there. Like just a big circle of rooms where nobody could book anywhere around him and his crew, and they were recording there. And he said, man, they were on the bus outside, tour bus. And Kobe Bryant walked up and bought his Carter 3 Walkman because he wanted the album early. Now it's Kobe Bryant, Lakers Kobe Bryant. Walked up on the bus, man, and bought it because he wanted to get the album first. And he said that's when he arrived. And he said, young artists, and this applies to everybody, not just young artists, enjoy that moment. Enjoy that moment of new success. Enjoy that moment of fresh progress. Enjoy that moment of being the thing. Enjoy that moment of rising to a level that you hadn't previously rise to. Because you'll spend the rest of your career chasing that moment, trying to recreate that moment. I tell y'all all the time, you only get one chance to be the hot new ninja. No matter where you go, you only get one chance to be the hot new ninja. I went to 3 different schools in 7th grade. So 3 times I was the hot new ninja. And the effects of it were the same every time. Love from the ladies, hate from the fellas. So enjoy the process. Because if you don't enjoy the process, you'll get to the end results and all you'll have is the success. You got to remember the struggles. Breezy, appreciate the super sticker. So let's talk about some things we got to avoid on our progress, on our process of progress to success. You got to remember one thing, gentlemen. God made you so great that after him, you have to be the most important thing in your life. Not just the most important person. You have to be the most important thing in your life. You have to. This water, it's not because water is delicious. It's because I'm the most important thing in my life. The salmon and salad I just ate, not because it's the most delicious thing I could have eaten. It's because I'm the most important thing in my life. You have to be the most important thing in your life. And here are 2 things you have to do to make sure that you keep that in mind. GC, ignore insignificant people. Ignore insignificant people. 9 times out of 10, your haters are insignificant people. As a matter of fact, even if they aren't insignificant, they become insignificant the time they start hating on you. Anybody who becomes a hater of yours, they suddenly become insignificant. Why? Because they can't benefit your process or progress. Anyone who can't benefit your process or progress is not, I repeat, is not a significant person. I was chopping it up with BOA. And he was telling me how all these guys keep saying things and he keep getting information that all these people are roasting him and checking him and doing all that. And I said, well, BOA, why don't you ever respond? He said, man, those guys are insignificant. None of those guys have been beneficial to my journey. None of those guys have. You men in here right now in this chat have been beneficial to the journey of BOA and King Ray Ray. Those guys who have something negative to say, they haven't. They are just a sign that a level of success has been attained. But they're insignificant. I won't ever respond. BOA won't ever respond. Why? Because why would I waste time subjecting you men to me responding to someone who is insignificant to both you and I? In the kingdom of Ray, they are insignificant. In the alpha sphere, they are insignificant. They don't matter. You never see them in the alpha sphere. You never see them in the kingdom of Ray. If you never come to the kingdom of Ray, you never come to the alpha sphere, you are insignificant. So anybody who is not playing an instrumental role in your life, and the instrument can be small, it can be so small that you can't even hear when they play it. But anyone who is not playing a significant role in your life is insignificant. If their energy towards you isn't positive, they are insignificant. And you also have to avoid insignificant things. Beef is an insignificant thing. I don't even eat beef. If I don't eat beef, you think I'm going to come online and try to find some beef? I don't want no beef. I don't do beef. I don't do red meat at all. Well, I won't say it all. About twice a year. About twice a year, I will have me a delicious Delmonico ribeye. About twice a year. I'm going to do that. Twice a year now. I got to have it. And whenever I do it, I take pictures of it. Twice a year, you can count on me to pop up with a nice Delmonico side of broccoli, plain baked potato, or plain sweet potato. You can count on that. But otherwise, you have to ignore insignificant people and insignificant things, because every moment you waste on someone insignificant, there's something significant that's sliding by you, that's sliding under the radar. You're not taking care of something you need to take care of because you're too busy taking care of something that doesn't deserve your attention. And here's the thing. If someone has to tell you about someone else's negative energy, it's even more insignificant than you could imagine, because you hadn't even heard about it. You hadn't even felt it. Don't invite negativity into your life when God is protecting you and sheltering you from it. Why would you say, well, wait a minute, God, I don't need your protection. Let that negative energy in here around me. You can't say that. It's going to hold you back. Do you know the weight of negative energy is like carrying a 15-ton truck on your back? It's like carrying a 15-ton anvil on your back. The weight of stress, the weight of beef, the weight of negative energy, the weight of confrontation, the weight of being adversarial. You hear a lot of guys talking about, well, you got to be confrontational. You got to be No, you don't. You have to be blessed. Don't be confrontational. Be elevational. Shout out to the brother NSA. Once again, for the $100 sponsorship, man, the second one, brother, I really appreciate it. Don't be confrontational, be elevational. How are you going to be confronted by someone who's not on your level? How do you make sure they're not on your level? Keep elevating. Your haters are only on your level for a short period of time if you focus on elevation. See, you're blessed with the gift that you can do better than everyone around you. Can you do it better than anyone in the world? Who cares? You don't care about the world. But in your environment, there is something that if you focus on it, you will be the best at it. And let me tell you something, brothers. There is nothing greater than being the best at something. There is no greater feeling than realizing that you have been blessed to be the best at something. There were a bunch of phenomenal ball players playing when Michael Jordan played. Man, they were phenomenal. Magic was phenomenal. In my opinion, the best point guard ever. Point guard, pure point guard. Kareem, all-time leading scorer in NBA history. Nobody's ever going to catch him. I think LeBron got to play 5 or 6 more years to even have a chance. Bunch of great players. Larry Bird, still in the running. 3-man race. Him, LeBron, and maybe one more guy you could think of. Best small forward to ever play the game. But only one is considered the best. There is only one player who is widely considered the best. One player. Everybody else is a debate for number 2. You know how much of a blessing that is to be the best? Well, here's the thing. You hone that thing. You build that thing. You craft that thing. You don't give up on that thing. You don't push that thing to the wayside. You don't do anything else more than you do that thing, because that thing is your gift from God. To look at that thing and say, I'm not going to do it anymore, is to say, don't worry about what you gave me, God. I'll strike out on my own and see what I can get out of the world. You owe it to God to capitalize on the gift he gave you. You're going to let him waste the gift? He could have given that gift to somebody else. Stop wasting time on other things. You know, you have men out here who say, you got to learn this, and you got to learn that, and you got to learn this, and you got to learn that, and you got to learn this. We're learning all that stuff ain't going to do that but increase your sorrows. It's going to be more stuff you know that you can't do nothing about. More stuff you know that you can't change. You're trying to be the best at everything, but you'll never be the best at everything. Don't focus on trying to be the best. How you going to be the worst at something and waste your damn life trying to be the best at it? No one ever becomes the best at what they were the worst at. People who become the best, they focus on the thing they're the best at. Because there's always somebody who's pretty good. Let me tell y'all something, man. And this is going to be very controversial. May get some pushback, but everything I say gets pushback. I don't believe in having a plan B. Even with a plan B pill, you ain't got to worry about a plan B pill if you strap up and make sure that you don't have no slip-up pregnancy. A plan B pill is when you allow plan A to fail. Plan A only fails if you allow it to fail. You have to embrace failure before plan A fails. Plan A doesn't fail if you grinding and doing everything you're supposed to do and avoiding that negative energy and ignoring insignificant people and ignoring insignificant things and realizing that you're blessed with a gift that you need to be focusing on and not wasting your time on things other than that gift. Plan A does not fail. You have to make plan A fail. Let me tell you something, brothers. Your plan A is based on that blessed gift from God and your willingness to travel the path that he wants you to take with that gift. Your plan A is based on that blessed gift from God and your willingness to follow the path he wants you to take with that gift. Your plan B is based on fear of failure. Fear that you're going to fail. Fear that you're not going to focus. Fear that you're not going to stay on the grind. Fear that you're going to fall to the wayside over some relationship, over some negative energy, over some drama, over some beef. Fear that you are going to focus on insignificant people and insignificant things. Fear that you're going to be wasting your time on other things besides your gift. Fear that you won't measure up. Because ain't no pressure on you if you go do something average. The pressure you put on yourself to succeed at something you know you're the best at, boy, that's rough. That's pressure right there. That's real pressure, man. And your plan B is also based on lack of faith in God. You don't believe in the gift that God gave you. You don't believe when God put the spirit of whatever that gift is on you and said, here, my son, this is what you need to do. Here is what you need to do. Here is what I want you to do. Here is what you were born to do. Here is what I told you to do. Here is what I'm telling you to do. Here is what I created you to do. Here is what you can do better than anyone else. And you know what you say? Well, I don't know, Lord. I don't believe that now. There got to be somebody better. You're kind of like Moses. Why me, Lord? I can't even talk that good. Why you pick me? Might be stuttering and stuff. Well, I can't go talk to these people. They ain't going to listen to me. I don't have the confidence to talk to them. What God told him, man, just do what I told you to do. Go get your brother Aaron. I'm going to let him talk to the people. You tell him what I say, he tell the people. He come back for more information, you come to me. You his liaison to me, he's your liaison to the people. Now go do what I told you to do, boy. If your plan A fails, it's because you doubted yourself and God so much that he gave up on you. Boy, you know what you got to do. You know how hard you have to try to fail to make God give up on you? You know how hard it is to make God give up on you? Some of the most evil men I knew in the world lived to be in their 30s and 40s, and they were evil almost from birth. From the time I knew them as children, they were evil. Some of those guys are still alive now. You know how hard you got to work to make God give up on you, man, especially with the gift he gave you. But I'm going to tell you, if you don't lose it, oh, you sure going to lose it. I guarantee you, if you don't use it, you sure going to lose it. I didn't know where I was going to end up, but I knew talking to people, touching people's spirit was my gift from God. I didn't know this was going to be the route that he was going to end up taking eventually, but here it is. You know why? Because I never stopped. I never stopped doing it the way that I wanted to do it, but I kept doing it. I never stopped doing it. I never stopped creating. I never stopped talking. I never stopped healing. I never stopped spilling. I never stopped speaking. I never stopped reaching. I never stopped teaching. I never stopped doing it. Listen, there ain't no time frame that God got to pay you off in, man. God don't owe you nothing. There ain't no time frame that he got to bring the fruits of your success. Because here's the thing. The truth of your success is how many people you help. You can make all the money in the world, but if you ain't helping nobody, then what you doing? You ain't doing nothing. You're insignificant. The U.S. Mint make money. Ain't none of us ever been to the U.S. Mint. I ain't never been in the mint and watched them print the dollars. I would love to go. I would love to see the process. I would love to see the paper. The bottom line is you keep grinding. You keep going. You keep growing. You keep showing God that you are prepared to do this for the long haul. Because here's the thing. Whether you get your payoff early or you get your payoff late, this is your life's mission. So if you get paid off at 18, guess what? You got to keep grinding for the rest of your life doing the same thing. If you don't get paid off until you 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 30, it don't matter when you get paid off. You still got to do that mission for life. You're not doing it for the payoff. You're doing it for the layoff of stress, the layoff of worry, the layoff of concern for yourself in this world, the layoff of fear. You get to lay off all those things as long as you're on the path. Let me tell you something, brother. Peace of mind is all the payoff you really need. If you got peace of mind, everything else don't seem like nothing. Find me a broke man with peace of mind and find me a rich man that's troubled. And the broke man with peace of mind going to be in a more desirable position if you watch how he functions in his life. When you see that rich man coming home every day drinking a bottle of scotch, and you see that poor man coming home every day going for a swim, going for a walk, going for a run, walking his dog, playing with his kid in the backyard, doing the dicky freaky with his wife, you never know, man. Peace of mind is priceless. That's the first payoff you get. That's the first thing God gives a man who resigns himself and assigns himself to being on the path that God wanted him to be on. Peace of mind is the first thing you get because God knows peace of mind is what you're going to need because you know what? Everyone around you is doing something different. Everyone who's around you is doing something different. I realized a long time ago that I prefer to look at fancy cars than to buy them. If you think you really like fancy cars, go out of town. Go to Miami and rent a Lambo. Just rent a Lambo the whole time you're there. And just drive it around. And you'll realize that it's the same thing you do in your Honda Accord or your Toyota Camry. It's the same thing you do in your Buick Regal. You still got to drive the car. It go real, real fast, but when you get on interstate, guess what? There ain't no sign that say special speed limit for Lamborghinis, special speed limit for Ferraris, special speed limit for Corvettes. Nope, you still got to drive the same 70 as everybody else, and you sitting there looking at 200 on your dash. You sitting there looking at 200 on your dash, and you say, man, this car float at 100. What's the purpose? You still stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Man, you ain't finna go nowhere in Miami in the Lamborghini. You finna be stuck in bumper traffic. Man, listen, it took me 45 minutes, almost 50 minutes to get from Miami to Fort Lauderdale. It's 20 miles. It's 20 miles. It's would have been a 20-minute drive. Took me double the time. Didn't matter what I was in. So none of that material stuff is the payoff. The payoff is the peace of mind. The payoff is the sanctity you get from knowing that God is with you. Do you know how much of a wonderful feeling it is, man, to know that God is with you, man? Do you know what it feels like, man, for your enemies to be at peace with you? Because that's the word states, when a man ways pleaseth God, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. You know how thrilling it is, man, for your enemies to be at peace with you? You know how thrilling it is for you to be in a glass house and people be outside throwing rocks and can't none of them bust the glass? They don't even hit the glass. It's like you got a force field around your glass house, brother. You know how wonderful that is? You know how amazing of an experience that is, man? There's nothing more fulfilling in life than to know that God is with you. Nothing. No amount of money, no amount of fame, no amount of attention from the female gender. There's no amount of anything that measures up to that. So forget your plan B. Your plan A is your plan B. You got your plan A, and then you got double time work on your plan A. Your plan B is to work twice as hard on your plan A. But the only man who can think like this is men who have a positive, strong relationship with God. If you don't have this relationship with God, then you got to doubt. You got to have a real plan B. That's something other than that thing you've been blessed with. You have to have a plan B. Plan Bs are for ungodly men, not for us. Because if I ain't doing what God put me here to do, I don't want to do nothing else. I don't care about having no money to trick off on no broad. I don't care about having no money to buy nothing fancy. I don't care about having no money the money is not my motivation. It will never be my motivation. Is it a blessing to get the 10% that is guaranteed to the priest? No, yes, it is. Otherwise, I can't eat. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. I minister to the people. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing else. Another thing, man, don't allow your pursuit of happiness to be dictated by money or the love thereof. I hear people say all the time, money is the root of all evil, money is the root of all evil. No, it ain't. Children of Israel were blessed beyond blessed materialistically. The love of money is the root of all evil. Don't allow your pursuit of happiness to be attached to money. Because if you allow your pursuit of happiness to be attached to money, you will find yourself being happy, doing things that don't make you happy, and then you'll replace that with the belief that the money is making you happy. But the money will never make you happy. Now, don't get me wrong. Money does bring it happiness because there's no concerns like financial concerns. There's no weight like the burden of financial uncertainty. But only money that bringeth happiness is money gotten by positive, righteous means. If your money is ill-gotten gains, there's no blessing coming with that. There is no peace coming with that. There is no joy coming with that. There is no nothing coming with that. You have to believe in the process of progress that is your life. Now you have to reap the benefits of the joy of making progress. You got to be a baby. You have to think like a baby, but not as the baby. You have to be the baby's parent looking at the baby. When that baby took that first step, anybody who has a child, when that baby took that first step, how amazed were you as a parent? How much progress would that represent? That was the first time that baby understood, okay, I can move myself around without getting on my knees. Like I can literally move myself. We forget to grow like that when we become adults in this cruel, wicked world. Every step of growth, from taking one step to taking a couple of running steps to running. All this happens from the time a child is born to the time a child is 2 years old in most cases. 2 years. A child can go from being in the womb, not even breathing its own oxygen, to walking, talking, and feeding himself, and going to the pot, relieving himself with real big boy drawers on. In 2 years, we talk about a baby with no guidance. You mean tell me you can't do that in your real life as a grown man? And you got the guidance of God. You understand the guidance of God. And you can't do it? Come on, man. Get out of your feelings. Get out of this worldly outlook, man, and get back into the instinct. And the instinct of man is to be connected to God. Don't make no sense, man. Look at the phenomenal growth of a child, man, from birth to kindergarten. That kid is waking up in the morning, man, brushing his own teeth, washing his own face, man, taking his own bath, brushing and combing his own hair. Do you might have to help him out a little bit, but still doing all that, tying his own shoes. We talking about that 5 years. You got grown men that go 5 years and they did nothing. Because you lose focus. You know what that child is doing? It's doing what God put it here to do. It's growing and becoming self-sufficient. It's growing and becoming efficient. It's growing and becoming self-reliant. It's growing and developing its gifts. At that point, you don't know what the gift is, but you know everything is developing, so the gift just develops as part of that. You never stop developing your gift. You never stop developing your gift. I don't care how old you get. I don't care where you are. You never stop developing your gift. Never. You ain't got time to waste. You ain't got time to focus on insignificant people and insignificant things. You understand? Hey, I do this. I do this. I got 2 channels. I do this. Like this, I do this. There are people who just put videos up. There are people who do it sometime. I do this. This is hard work. I ain't got time to waste no time focusing on no insignificant thing because I have a job to do. I have an audience to serve. Y'all don't serve me. I serve y'all. I have an audience to serve. You men in the King Ray Ray channel right now because I have an audience to serve. There are men who are waiting for the King Ray Ray uploads. I ain't got time to focus on nobody. If I got time to waste on insignificant stuff, I got time to put up more content on the King Ray Ray channel. You see what I'm saying? If I got time to do a live stream about somebody who's insignificant, I got time to start doing more live streams on the BOA channel and the King Ray Ray channel. If I got time for that, y'all should be seeing me live every day. 3 days a week on the BOA channel, 3 days a week on the King Ray Ray channel. You know you ain't gonna see me live on the Sabbath. But 3 days a week on the BOA channel, 3 days a week. If I got time to focus on anything insignificant, I better put that time to use on something significant. That's why you ain't got time to focus on anything significant. You ain't got time to focus on insignificant people. I got seeds, brother. I got a mom that's sick. I got people depending on me. I don't have time to worry about insignificant things. And you don't either. You don't have time to waste on people who don't mean you any good. Because let me tell you something. If they don't mean you no good, they don't mean God no good. Any attack on me is not an attack on me. It's an attack on God, because God handles my enemies for me. You see what I'm saying? You make yourself an enemy of mine, I ain't got to worry about you. It's easier for me if you make yourself an enemy of mine, because then I can just put you over there and let God handle it. The people who are opponents of mine, the people who are allies of mine, the people who are supporters of mine, those are the people I have to worry about. Those are the people I serve. Once you become an enemy, that's one less person I got to worry about. Boy, I push you over there with God, let God handle it. I don't even worry about it. I'm like, boy, that one less person. Let me move them over there. Let me plug somebody in that want to be here. Same thing with women in relationships. If a woman don't want to be there, unplug her. Take her out. Do her the favor of taking her out of a situation she don't want to be in. She's not obligated to be there. You don't want to be there? Okay, unplug. Hey, Shawty, you like you? You sure? Plug her in. That's all, man. That's life. You have to be willing to do the thing that's necessary to keep you on the path you need to be on. And the number one thing you have to do is stay out of your own way. Stay out of your own way, man. Couple super chats up here, man. Let me get them before they get by me. Primetime TV, appreciate the 5 bones, brother. Thank you for this message. Salute, man. Law, appreciate the 5 bones, my brother. This message is bigger than life. Blessing to the kingdom. Salute to you, brother. Adam Durden, appreciate the 5 bones, brother. Good to see you finally back in the joint, Ray. Hope that AC running clean now. Salute for all the wisdom, brother. Man, he put me in the game, man. He showed up at 7:30 in the morning, man. The system had a leak, man. He had to put a valve on it, man. And so he actually, man, he a cool guy, man. Came by and topped me off with Freon last night so I can make it through the night with my AC. Then he showed up, man, by 7:30 in the morning, man, and got me tight. So we good, man. We rolling, man. So I appreciate that though, man. Man, listen, it was 81 degrees inside the crib yesterday. I started to go out there, meet me, bro, and try to and meet her, mack her real hard, and go spend the night at her crib, man. I'm joking, brothers. Charles Reed, appreciate the 5 bones, man. A day is a span of time. No one is wealthy enough to waste. Shalom. That's real talk, brother. No one is wealthy enough to waste a day. Rational Logic 101, salute, my brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate the dime, man. Top of my dudes, Doc. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate it. So, here's what you got to do, man. Put God first in everything you do. And we say that all the time, and it's starting to become cliche. Put God first in everything you do. But let's break down what that means. That means that before you make a decision, you put God first. That don't mean you say, oh, God, you go first. I'll follow you. That means you put the word of God in place. That's why you have to meditate in the word. Putting God first is putting the word first. That's the only way you can put God first. If you're not putting the word first, you're not putting God first. You got to know the difference. You can't put the Old Testament and the New Testament together at the work at the same time. The too many opposing opinions, too many opposite ideas. You can't do it. You simply can't do it. You can try, but all you're doing is wasting your time. You got to pick one or the other, to be perfectly honest with you. And when you look at everything else, if you look at the Quran, you look at the Apocrypha, all of those books are more in line with the Old Testament than the New Testament. All of them are. Which means that the New Testament is sticking out like a sore thumb as the thing that you probably should put on the back burner. I know I have. And if you haven't, fine. That's your choice. But someday you're going to have to answer to the Most High. He gonna ask you, well, why when BOA was telling you this? Why when Doc was telling you this? Why when King Ray was telling you this? Why when Flynn was telling you this? Why when Chief was telling you this? Why when all these guys were telling you this? Why when King was telling you this? Why didn't you listen? Now you want me to treat you like you ain't know no better. Oh, yeah, you knew, you just ignored it. But it's your choice, man. It's everyone's choice to believe what they want to believe. It's everyone's choice to do whatever they want to do. But what you better do is put God first. And you put God first by putting the word first. If the word say don't do it, you don't do it. You don't do it. One day we'll come in here and discuss the book of Isaiah, and I'll tell you guys why Isaiah seemed to be all over the place. At one point, he's saying, "Unto us a son is born, unto us a child is given." Then earlier, he was saying, "There's only me, Jehovah. I'm the only God. There's no one beside me. Why would I need help?" Pretty much. We'll break that down one day, man. We'll probably put that on. Now, you know what? That'll be the first piece of content on the King Ray Ray Patreon. We'll break down the book of Isaiah, and I'll help you guys understand why Isaiah seemed to be riding the fence. You know, it was a different time. The transition into the first parts of our transition back into bondage, which ended up here eventually, happened around that time. So you can see the shift happening with Isaiah, how he was kind of, you know, hey man, I guess at some point, man, you got to decide whether you want to live or die. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get into that though, man, because there's some historical things that need to be applied to that period of time to let you know why it seems like, especially Isaiah. Isaiah was the main one who was kind of all over the place. But Brown 11975, appreciate the dime. Glad to hear some good scriptural food today, King. I needed this. Salute to you, honey. Good to see you in the joint, man. So you have to let no one's evil energy pull you off cold. You have to let no one's evil energy pull you away from adhering to and following the word of God. Because that's how you're going to get pulled off of your mission. See, let me tell you something. You can't totally ignore the word and think that you're going to be blessed. You can't. It's impossible. You're not going to be blessed in that scenario. You can't totally ignore the word and think you're going to be blessed. Can you gain some worldly material things? Yes, but Satan can give you those things as well. Some of the most evil men in the world are some of the wealthiest. Look what Zuckerberg is doing to people's information on Facebook. Look at how angry those people were at Twitch. You know, Twitch is owned by Amazon. Look how angry those people were, how they hacked Twitch. Some of the most evil people in the world are some of the wealthiest. Ill-gotten gains make up about 80% of the wealth in the world. Ill-gotten gains. Because the majority of the true wealth of the world is natural. Natural resources. Earth, trees, water. Natural energy sources. That's 80%. That's literally the majority of the world's wealth. So let no one's evil energy pull you off cold. You can't do it. Because here's the thing. You can't dictate what evil energy is going to do to you. You don't know you off cold until you off cold. You don't feel yourself getting off cold if you got evil energy around you because it changes your energy too much. Your positive alpha energy has to be sheltered from evil energy. If not, it becomes an offensive alpha energy where you're on the attack of the evil energy. You don't need the waste energy being on the attack of evil energy where you can simply avoid the evil energy. Push back from the evil energy. Pull away from the evil energy. See, here's the thing, man. Believing in God is believing in the unseen. You know, faith and, faith of a mustard seed, and all that. If you believing in God is believing in the unseen. Because you ain't never seen God. So you're believing in the unseen. But see, over here in the kingdom, we don't believe in God. As if the option is to not believe it. Not believing, that believing, and this ain't about believing. It's because you can believe something, and if you believe something, somebody can come with enough factual evidence to make you stop believing that thing. Somebody can come with the right information to make you start doubting that thing you believe. Your beliefs is pretty much just a hypothesis acceptance. A theoretical acceptance of something someone has laid in front of you. So we don't believe in God over here. Because believing in God is believing in the unseen. But knowing God, is an experience that you can explain, describe, count on, and it's just living without doubt of outcomes. That's how you pursue the thing that God put you here to do, because you don't have a fear of outcome. You don't have the doubt of an outcome. You're not even thinking about the outcome. You just know you got to do this. This is what you were put here to do. You're doing it because this is what you do. When you wake up in the morning to go to the bathroom, you don't lay in the bed, man, and urinate in the bed. You get up and go to the restroom. Why? Because that's just what you do. Only time you think about getting up, going to the restroom is when you don't go or when you can't go. Then you got a problem. But getting up every day, going to the restroom is normal. Is you just do it. You don't doubt the outcome. You know when you go in there and release, you're gonna hit a splash in the water. You know that for a fact. That's how you have to be with your relationship with God. You have to know God. You have to know God. I don't believe in God. I never believed in it. I knew him. And I know him. So the reason I didn't get sucked into the church, because I already knew God. And I already knew he wasn't in there. I already knew he wasn't in there. Think about this. The people on earth who are the most attached to the spiritual world are children and old folks. Children more so than old folks, because a lot of old folks have lived such evil lives that they're not in tune with the spirit world anymore until the end. Children are in tune with the spirit world. You ever seen a baby, little bitty baby, newborn baby, sleep, smiling and laughing and giggling? These babies are in tune with the spirit world. So if you put children somewhere and all the children are absolutely disengaged, the spiritual essence that connects with children isn't in that place. Children are forced to go to a place where there's no spiritual energy there. Perfect example. Bishop Eddie Long, thousands of people at his church. All of those thousands of people going in there every day, there was not enough discernment of negative spiritual energy radiating from that man's pulpit for those people to know how he was living his life. You mean tell me out of all those people, no one felt enough negative energy coming from there? No one was getting warned or given a sign from God that there was some evil going on here. And these are the same people who believe that once it's a thought, it's evil. Yeah, your thoughts are evil. Man, let me tell you something. When I heard that as a kid, man, I knew I was doing right, man, not getting caught up in that. How was my thought? The temptation, resisting temptation is what righteousness is. Temptation is your thought. There is no sin in the temptation. The sin is in resisting temptation. You know what that does? That makes people say, okay, well, I already sinned. I thought it. It ain't going to be no worse if I do it. It takes people away from resisting temptation because it makes temptation the sin itself. People stressing the hell out, man. Stressing out. Because ain't no God in the place that they go seek God. Ain't no God in the place that they go seek God, man. And it's a travesty, man, because there's a bunch of people getting caught up in that environment who just aren't getting what they need. But you got to know God, man. And that's the only way you're going to be able to travel this path that you need to be on in this life to get the ultimate fulfillment, which is peace of mind. There's no greater fulfillment that a man could hope for, wish for, ask for. And I'm thankful that I've been able to get my portion of it, man, because there's just nothing like it. There's nothing like it. You talking about self-preservation? Peace of mind is self-preservation. There is no self-preservation quite like peace of mind. And you may gotta keep that in mind and understand that, And just always know, man, that God made you to win. So stop running from the race of life. It is the only race that matters. It's the only one that you can run. And that's the bottom line. So I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Famo, HWC, GC, Hornet. Appreciate y'all brothers being in the joint, man. Really do. Appreciate our support, man. The super chats, man. Again, to the brother with the multiple sponsorships, man. Salute to you. I really appreciate it. If you if you need to get your life together, man, you can always go to bookofaphronomy.com, consultations. Let's chop it up, man, and get you in the direction you need to be going in, man. Let's do that. We have to be helpers of one another, man. And I'm just blessed that God has chosen me to use me in this particular way, man, to speak to the people. And it's a blessing, man. Like there's nothing in my life that has ever made me feel as blessed and as humbled as being in this position, man, to be used by God in this way. So again, NSA, appreciate the sponsorships, man. I appreciate it. And y'all brothers keep grinding and growing. And remember, man, this was last but not least on this list. Put God first. And do that by applying the word to your life, man. And I promise you, you will receive manifold blessings. Peace.